Hey, they said artificial intelligence would be just a tool, a support, something that could never replace the human soul. But today, you look around and realize that promise has been broken. Voices are simulated, texts are generated in seconds, scripts, music, even medical decisions, all created by codes that don't feel, but decide. What do you do when the world you grew up in no longer needs you? The truth is harsh. AI will keep advancing, and those who fail to adapt will be left behind. But this is not a message of despair. It's a calling. While billions are chasing the machine, a small group of people is doing the opposite, slowing down, looking inward, and rediscovering a strength no technology can replicate: consciousness, presence, self-mastery. The Stoics lived through times of great collapse, falling empires, civil wars, moral decay. And still, they remained lucid, because they knew something most people have forgotten. When everything changes on the outside, the most important thing is what you do on the inside. This video is not about technology. It's about power, and more specifically, how to reclaim yours even when the world says you are obsolete. We'll explore 5 Stoic lessons that not only prepare you for the future, but shield you from fear, chaos, and manipulation. Because maybe you can't compete with AI speed, but you can become something no machine will ever be: free, grounded, and impossible to replace.
The machine is winning, but the war isn't over. While millions are distracted by filters, dances, and likes, a silent army of algorithms is learning. It watches your habits, anticipates your choices, writes like you, speaks like you, and soon, maybe, will think better than you. For most, this is just a trend, but for those who see deeper, it's the beginning of a new era of dependence. Artificial intelligence won't arrive. It's already here. It's in your home, your routine, your desires, and you don't notice because it's invisible. But the Stoics knew what is invisible is the most dangerous, not because it attacks you head-on, but because it takes control without you realizing. Epictetus said, "It's not the events that destroy us, but how we react to them." Now think, what has been your reaction to this revolution? Distraction? Anxiety? Denial? Many have already given up thinking for themselves. Having an opinion has become effort. And that's where the machine wins, not by being faster, but because you stopped reflecting. The first Stoic lesson in the face of this modern collapse is simple but radical. Reclaim your attention. Master your mind before someone programs it for you. The war of the future won't be over weapons. It will be over focus, over consciousness, over inner autonomy. You might not compete with the calculating power of AI, but it will never have what you neglect today: presence, spirit, moral judgment, courage. And if you lose that, you've already been replaced, even while alive.
Imagine living in a world where every choice you make is measured, predicted, manipulated. Where your desires are no longer yours, they're inserted. No bars, no chains, and yet you are trapped.
trapped in loops of distraction, comparison, and silent obedience. The Stoics called this self-slavery. When you surrender your mind to the external, you cease to exist as a rational being. You become a reflection, a product, a puppet. Today, it's not soldiers breaking your door, it's notifications. Not weapons that pierce your skin, but algorithms that quietly drain your will. What once looked like harmless entertainment is now behavioral conditioning. Marcus Aurelius warned, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." But stop and ask, which thoughts are truly yours and which were injected by a machine? This is the trap of the digital age. You believe you're choosing, but in truth, you're just reacting. You think you're thinking, but you're only echoing. And in the silence of that illusion, freedom evaporates. Because whoever owns your attention owns your future. The second Stoic lesson is not passive, it's urgent. Question everything, every trend, every viral post, every stimulus that feels addictive or easy. Ask yourself, does this make me stronger or more dependent? Does this awaken me or sedate me further? The Stoic is not blind to the world. He is lucid. He watches the game being played and refuses to be a pawn. He lives by reason, not reaction. And in an age where everything is screaming for your attention, the greatest act of rebellion is to say no. No to what numbs, no to what weakens, no to what leads you away from yourself. Because every no you say to the world is a yes to your own sovereignty. For centuries, humans knelt before invisible gods, distant forces that promised meaning, order, salvation. But now, a new god is rising. And it's not in the sky, it's in the data. It has no soul, no empathy, no wisdom, but it decides what you see, what you buy, what you believe. Its name is artificial intelligence. It knows your fears, your tastes, your weaknesses, before even you do. And unlike the old gods, it answers instantly, with precision, with control. But here's the question: who are you when even your thoughts can be predicted? Epictetus said, "Freedom begins when we stop blaming the world." But what if the world is engineered to seduce you, to shape your instincts before you even notice? The third Stoic lesson is brutal, but necessary. Distrust what comes too easy, what flatters you too perfectly, what feels like it knows you too well. Because convenience can be a cage, and comfort can be a trap. The Stoic is not against progress, but he examines power. He questions every force that seeks to guide him without consent. Because anything that thinks for you is already erasing you, and anything that simplifies life too much is often training you to stop living it deeply. The new religion is the algorithm, and the new believers are billions, addicted, passive, programmed. But you can be the exception, the thinker, the heretic, the one who refuses the cult of ease. Because in a world that worships speed, automation, and obedience, the ultimate resistance is this:
to stay awake, to remain unpredictable, to protect the mystery of your own mind. Have you noticed how hard it is to spend 2 minutes in silence without reaching for your phone? That's not just habit, it's a symptom of something deeper. Your focus has become the most valuable resource in the modern world, and right now, it's being sold to the highest bidder. Platforms, ads, endless feeds, they don't want to entertain you. They want to own you, to keep your eyes, your time, your mind locked in. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The quality of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." But how can you cultivate clear thoughts in an environment built to distract you? The harsh truth is this: your attention is being auctioned, and the more fragmented it becomes, the easier it is to manipulate you. The fourth Stoic lesson is this: reclaim your focus like it's a battlefield, because it is. Either you command your attention, or someone else will. The enemy is no longer famine or war. It's excess. Excess of noise, excess of input, excess of urgency. And the price you pay? Your peace, your clarity, your identity. The Stoics trained their minds like warriors trained their swords. They practiced silence. They chose stillness. They protected inner space like sacred ground. You might think you're choosing what to consume, but every scroll, every click, every notification is shaping how you think, shaping who you are. This isn't about rejecting technology. It's about refusing to be reprogrammed by it. If silence feels unbearable, it means your mind is begging to be reclaimed. And in the middle of this chaos, maybe the greatest act of resistance is simply learning how to be still. Amid the rise of machines, a strange reversal is happening. The more technology mimics humanity, the more humans behave like machines. Predictable, reactive, automated. But there is one thing no artificial intelligence can replicate, and it's what makes you irreplaceable: consciousness. Epictetus taught that we are not disturbed by events, but by the meanings we give them. The machine processes data. The Stoic processes truth. While AI simulates thought, the human chooses value. This is the final Stoic lesson, and it may be the most important. If you don't want to be replaced, don't be programmable. You were not made to repeat tasks. You were not designed to exist without soul, without reflection. You were made to choose with virtue, to act with presence, to live with intention. And that is something no machine can imitate. Because AI doesn't suffer. It doesn't doubt. It doesn't wrestle with conscience. But you do. And that's your gift. The Stoic turns pain into power. He transforms fear into insight. He chooses what is right, even when no one is watching. The world may try to reduce you to a system of inputs and outputs, but you are not code. You are not function. You are awareness. You are judgment. You are fire. And when you protect that essence,
When you live with integrity, with depth, with courage, the machine becomes irrelevant. Because what makes you truly irreplicable isn't what you do. It's who you are when everything else fades away. Artificial intelligence can learn. It can write, predict, optimize. But it doesn't feel. It doesn't choose with depth. And it doesn't carry scars that turned into wisdom. That's why it will never truly win. Because what builds a real human being is exactly what no algorithm can replicate. You'll be told that you must adapt, be faster, smarter, more productive. But maybe that's not the answer. Maybe what you need is to be more human, more aware, more anchored, more alive. The Stoic doesn't panic in the face of change. He doesn't follow blindly. He watches, he questions, he prepares. Because the world may evolve, but the core of who you are should remain untouchable. While others chase the next update, the next shortcut, the next escape, you return to what never changes: reason, virtue, presence. So if something in this message spoke to you, don't let it fade. Like this video now. Subscribe to the channel. And tell us in the comments what lesson hit you the hardest. What will you do differently today to make sure you're not replaced? We're here every day, in silence, in strength, and with what the machine will never have: soul.